Now at 10, a vigil for the man tragically killed in the North Ogden shooting and house fire late last month. Tonight, we hear from the community. Plus,
every year we gather to help women.
The nonprofit Fight Against Domestic Violence, along with other foundations, teaming up to make sure women in domestic violence shelters have a Mother's Day to remember. And a shooting at a mall in Texas with at least 9 victims confirmed, some of them children. One suspect has been shot dead.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Hello, I'm Sarah Murphy. Thanks for joining us tonight for ABC4 News at 10. We begin this evening in North Ogden, where a community is in mourning. Last week, one of their own was shot and killed in a shooting and a house fire. ABC4's Annika Johns joins us live in the area where both police, fire, and community members were all there this evening to honor him. Annika.
That's right, Sarah. Last week, Jody Roberts and her husband, Scott, were at home when his brother came to their door, shooting them both, killing her husband before setting their home on fire. Now tonight, their community is coming together to honor the life that was lost, honor the life that was saved, and to honor those who came at the first sign of trouble.
It's going to take some time to go away, but as they say, nothing lasts forever. And so I think with time, as we come together and as we heal, things will improve.
Tonight, a community finding ways to heal.
First and foremost, we just want Jody and her family to know our hearts are broken. We just can't imagine what she's going through after losing so much.
Those that call North Ogden home came together to share prayers and a meal in honor and thanks of those who responded to the shooting and house fire that took place last week. A candlelit vigil was also held in honor of Scott Roberts, who was home with his wife Jody when his brother showed up at their door, shooting and killing him and seriously injuring his wife.
Healing takes courage, folks, and it's time for us to probably dig a little deeper as we seek to support the Roberts family and those who were involved in this incident.
Those of different faiths came together to take a moment to pray for the life lost, and thanks for those who came to help and to comfort this broken community.
You know, something that stuck with me from our visit with the officers is one of the wives said, "I didn't know he was safe until he actually came home."
Chief Quinney took a moment to describe their department's challenge coin, describing its meaning and the importance it had during this incident.
On the other side of our coin, we have an image of St. Michael. It says, "Make no mistake, I will defend the weak. I will defend freedom. I will sacrifice so that others may live free. I will defend my family to the death. I love peace, but I am a fierce enemy. I live by a special code. I live with honor. I was born to be the warrior."
Chief Quinney continued saying he couldn't be more proud of how his officers responded to the incident. There is also a GoFundMe set up to help Jody and her family recover from what took place. You can find a link to that GoFundMe on our website at abc4.com. Reporting live in Ogden, Annika Johns, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Annika. Now in our flood watch, Sugarhouse Park is an area to watch with warming temperatures. Salt Lake City Fire's Swift Water Rescue team is working to keep people out of the area. Today, they placed danger buoys around high undertow areas at Sugarhouse Pond. Now, they say it only takes 6 inches of water to knock someone off their feet and 1 foot of water to displace a car. So they're reminding you to keep your children and your pets away from any fast-moving water in the area. The park is still closed to cars, but it's open to people. We talked to some at the park today who say that water isn't looking very clean.
It's fun to be here without the cars. You know, it feels like a wild place, kind of like reclaimed by nature in a sense.
I mean, if you look over there, there was like a bunch of dead ducks and stuff. I just feel like flood water is generally dirty and unsafe, so I feel like I probably wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
Now, this is following people who are paddleboarding, rafting, and making a beach day of the pond last weekend. That couple continued to say that the state it's in now, they believe it's a good reminder that we need to take better care of our local parks. Now checking in with meteorologist Nate Larson. Nate, Sugarhouse Park has been one of the areas recently we've talked a lot about with flooding concerns, and we're continuing to see some of those warming temperatures.
Yeah, that's nice. You know, the design of Sugarhouse Park is to be a retention basin for the excess water that comes down. But yeah, not good to see so much debris and things in there. We did have some showers out there, not helping necessarily the stream flows with the moisture coming down on top of the snow, already melting off at a very rapid pace. But yeah, we had some storms out there. Scott Taylor captured this out near Horseshoe Springs. You can see some of the ominous clouds off in the distance there. We've had some decent measurements across portions of the Wasatch Front. Not everybody got a decent amount of rain. Currently pretty calm conditions. This is a look at the Colonial Flag shot here at the studio. Temperatures at 49 degrees. Winds are light out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Airport had just under 1/10 of an inch of moisture reported in the last 24 hours. Some areas, though, saw more. Areas like Ogden, Centerville had 1/4 of an inch of rain. We can see just a few light showers lingering across portions of central northern Utah. For the most part, we're going to see a little bit of a lull in activity across much of northern Utah. Could see a few lingering showers overnight, mainly east of I-15 in the northern part of the state. Mentioned some of the flooding, though. Again, areas that are under flood warnings. The Sevier River, this is in southern portions or southwestern portions of Utah, near Hatch. They had even moderate flooding for a short period of time. Fortunately, the levels are forecast to continue to decline. Still seeing an action stage, though, so the flood warning remains. Also, the Dolores River in the eastern portion of the state, mainly in western Colorado, and the South Fork of Ogden River. The flows are expected to stay steady at around action or just into minor flood stage near Huntsville. Also watching the lower Weber River near Plain City. We're at action stage there. Cache Valley below Hiram Dam. We're also seeing some elevated flows there. The Green River near Jensen expected to also slowly decline with some cooler temperatures sticking around. So good news in regards to flooding. Cooler air is helping slow some of the snow melt. We should see a few more showers, though, in the forecast. In fact, 64 for Salt Lake on Sunday. Partly cloudy. Breezy winds out of the west, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Nice in St. George, but also breezy. We're going to have mainly sunshine, 10 to 15 mile per hour winds out of the southwest as well. Sarah?
All right, thank you, Nate. In Salt Lake, it may be a Mother's Day to remember for some single moms. ABC4 News met with volunteers today who are working hard a week before the holiday to make that happen.
Every year we gather to help women that are really in a dire situation.
Women helping women.
It's really a lovely opportunity for women who are experiencing perhaps one of the hardest times in their lives.
The nonprofit Fight Against Domestic Violence teamed up with the Stella Oaks and Live Your Dreams Foundation to make this upcoming Mother's Day one to remember.
We are putting together, our goal is 440 Mother's Day gift bags. We have donations from companies all across the state.
Volunteers assembled gift bags for women in 16 domestic violence shelters in Utah. Every gift, even the bags, are donations.
It was some work, but it's worth it in the end because it's a really good cause, and to think what it's going to do for these women and the impact that it can have, it outweighs any amount of work that needs to go into it.
An impact, they say, they'll never forget.
I know you cannot see the women who receive these gifts. They're in hiding. On behalf of all of them, I'd like to say thank you.
The next big event for the Fight Against Domestic Violence organization will be a charity gala in October. Now, new at 10, 2 men are in custody after police say they broke into a Taylorsville house carrying guns. Taylorsville police say people reported gunshots and glass breaking early Saturday morning. Officers found and arrested both suspects at the house. Police say they found the 2 guns along with a lot of property damage. They say no one was injured. Also new at 10, in Garfield County, a bar is closed after a propane explosion earlier today. The Outlaw Saloon owners in Hatch released a statement saying a propane explosion occurred inside the saloon. A member of our staff was injured during the incident with minor injuries. The saloon has extensive damage and will be closed until further notice. And it's International Drone Day, and to celebrate, ABC4's photojournalist Ed Willits put together a big piece with some of our best drone footage here at ABC4, showing the beauty of our community. Coming up on ABC4 News at 10, a tragic shooting at a mall in Allen, Texas. 9 have been confirmed dead. More on the details of what happened.
And we're looking at the Spanish Fork River, an area that was at action stage. We'll show you the river level trends and what